So, hi everyone. Today I'm chatting to Beck Ewan, another legendary and highly talented Inglewood local whose marketing and tech skills are behind some of our most popular and loved local initiatives. So, Beck does a lot with Inglewood Upmarket, with Fringlewood, which was when the Fringe World came to the Inglewood Night Markets. And more recently, she's been the woman behind the Inglewood Takeout and Delivery Facebook page and the local Inglewood Teddy Bear Hunt. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. It was quite a lovely surprise for you to reach out to me to have this interview. But yeah, I'm really happy to just share the things that I've done, and I hope that other people who are listening might try and do the same in their neighbourhoods and help out during this time. So thank you.
Yeah, oh, you're most welcome back. And that's why I kind of wanted to reach out, because obviously with Both and Beyond, it's nice to promote what's happening and encourage people to get involved. And what you do is just so amazing. You're involved with so many local initiatives and behind so many of them. What drives you to help?
I think really I've always been a very busy person. I've just, even during uni and things like that, I've always had sort of multiple jobs on the go and this and that. And so I think, yeah, I mean, just during this time, when, I've been sort of working virtually for the past 2 years. So, I guess I've had very minimal impact with the whole situation. And I actually don't have kids. So, everything's sort of business as usual for me. And so I think really, I sort of just want to do what I can to help out the community. I also have an arts degree as well, so that sort of helps with the right side of my brain and getting creative. And I actually have a career in digital health, so a lot of my work is online. I do a lot of things around digital projects, and seeing the positives in how people can keep connected. And so it sort of is just a natural process for me to just move into this and do what I can to help the community and give back, really.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. So when you're not doing these amazing things for the community, what is your day job? What do you do?
So I actually, I'm a research officer in digital health at the Telethon Kids Institute. And I'm part of a health promotion and education research team. So, we have a lot of research in education and in schools, and a lot of sort of advocacy in getting, health promotion projects out there. And so basically, a digital health officer is, sort of another fancy word for me helping to design apps. So my space is really around working with researchers at the Institute and building apps that sort of help families and help kids staying connected and helping all sorts of illnesses. So we've had projects in type 1 diabetes, cystic fibrosis, Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, cyberbullying, and the whole sort of digital space. So that's actually what I do for a living.
Yeah, so it seems to me like your passion is, so there's the digital and online space, but also working in an environment, and also with what you do with the community, it's really all about helping.
Yeah, that's right. And so as part of my role in the sort of app design space and digital space is also consumer and community engagement. So I've been, sort of working really hard in that sort of space for the better part of the 6 or 7 years. So really just making sure communities involved in research and any sort of part of my work, and really understanding and listening to the needs of the community to see where we can address those needs.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. So what role do you think communities, our Inglewood community and local community, what role do you think we can play in helping each other to get through COVID-19?
I think so I think what the Inglewood community and lots of communities, especially just being online all the time and sort of seeing what's happening, where actually the community is doing, really, really well. And I think this sort of positive drive and the community spirit that's come out of the community is really helped sort of encourage everyone to really sort of band together to help. So, we've seen everything from, people to offering to buy groceries for people who are in quarantine, really helping the less fortunate and the elderly who can't actually leave their homes, which is actually, it's so amazing. To, the community getting together to keep the kids engaged by, we've got the, which a lot of communities I've seen the the teddy bear hunt, which is fantastic. And so people putting out toys, on, in their windows, in their gardens, chalks on the footpath. And, we're really seeing, just me going out every day walking my dogs. I'm seeing so many, families out and about, and, so having that engagement and that positivity in the community is great. I guess on top of that, also just helping out our businesses as well. We're doing that extremely well. We've always been quite connected in, the fact that Inglewood has the Inglewood Night Markets, which is one of the, the biggest markets in WA, actually. And so already having that there and the community spirit around, looking at promoting our local businesses and the food trucks and things that come to the neighborhood. So yeah, really seeing everyone online, eating out often, buying takeaways, deliveries, recommending, and just sort of seeing the engagement that brings with, promoting everyone else to get on board and do that as well. So yes, I think there's a lot of things that, we're doing extremely well. So I think it's a really good leaf, for other communities to be able to take out of our book if they'll learn the things to do.
And speaking of takeout and takeaways, you are a bit of the Inglewood takeaway guru. So you have created a Facebook page to help. Do you want to show people? I love it. Do you want to show people that? So and we'll tell them a little about that.
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm just going to share my screen, and hopefully this works okay. So just let me know if you can see that. Here we go. So are you able to see that okay?
Yeah, I sure can.
My partner and I, we eat out all the time. So this was happening well before COVID needed me to really do this. But, we eat out all the time, and, I've got this list of go-to places. And so just even amongst my friends and things, they're often calling me up saying, where can I go for good Indian, or where can I go for burgers and things like that. And so I think I sort of started, before COVID to just sort of post what I was eating. I'm not really the type of person that does that generally, but I think in the Inglewood community, because everyone's quite engaged in it, I kind of thought, well, here's my small part to help, those businesses where I'm eating at. And so that sort of, I guess started. And then of course COVID happened, and, as I sort of watched how people were, reacting online, and, seeing, more and more people posting about what they were eating, and, quite a few people were saying, oh, we really need, often people would jump online on our Facebook group and kind of just say, what's open at the moment, where can I do deliveries, does anyone have a list I can access, or, someone needs to do this. And so I kind of thought, well, look, it's, most of my work is digital. I actually, manage the Inglewood Night Market social media page, so it comes quite easily for me to do this. On top of my work with Telethon Kids, I also manage another page there as well. So I quickly sort of put this together, and it first was started out as a directory of, and I'll just jump to the album that's here. It was more just a directory of everyone's menu, which I kind of had in my computer anyway, because and I've got this drawer of just menus that I've just kept as well. And I kind of thought, well, it's just, it's turning it digital. So this here is kind of the A to Z directory of Inglewood businesses. But then, of course, I also expanded to surrounding suburbs. So there's Mount Laurel in there. There's some in Northbridge in there. But, where I can, I've included menus, and then going into it, I think this one's Finlay and Sons. I've included, their address details and just a bit of a spiel about what they do and their opening times. And then, so that kind of took off, and then again, I was just sort of watching and seeing what people were asking and requesting, and, every time I post something, someone would say, oh, you missed this one, which is really great, because everyone was sort of getting on board and letting me know what they were doing. And so then I thought I'd just create this quick list to show everyone, what's available for delivery. And one of the big things that I'm seeing online is, a lot of businesses and people are talking about how, Uber Eats and Deliveroo and Menulog are taking quite a big cut of the fees when you actually order through them, and just seeing the amount of people that was sort of jumping on board saying, look, just get out and drive there and pick it up if you can, because it gives more to the business. And so this sort of thing, I just created this in Canva. I sort of use that. It's like an online free kind of graphic design thing, super easy to use. But then I started putting this together and just noting down the ones that are doing, direct delivery, and those that, you know, still do delivery for those people who actually can't leave their house because they're either in quarantine or they've got kids where they just can't quickly go in and pick it up. So yeah, I think every time I sort of post this or it gets shared around, you know, I have to update it almost daily because there's always somebody, you know, I've always missed something. I can't be on top of everything. So I'm also relying on the community to tell me what I've, you know, done right and what I'm missing. And so, yeah, here on this one, you can see a bit of my admin, some of the admin stats there, but you can, you know, sort of see this post alone has sort of reached about 10,000 people, which, you know, it's quite amazing that, you know, something small that actually didn't take too much time, you know, kind of meets the needs of the community. So, you know, I'm kind of encouraging if anyone else, you know, is you know, championing what they eat and things in the other suburbs, that it's quite easy to get this on board, because I'm now seeing a lot of businesses in other areas actually contacting me and asking, can they be added? But of course, I've got to keep this quite small. And, you know, the minute I start adding Northbridge in there, I have to add an extra 50 restaurants, which can't fit. But yeah, certainly the people, you know, out in Mount Lawley could certainly do that. Even some of the town teams like Beaufort Street Network. So just calling out some of those sort of communities and any other business that might be able to do something similar. It's super helpful, I think.
Yeah, that's great advice, Beck. And I mean, I know I look at it, and as a family, we've made a commitment to not do Uber Eats either. I mean, not that we did anyway. I think it's just the teenage son that, you know, like the idea of being able to get his burgers every now and then. But we feel very uncomfortable using Uber Eats as a delivery service, knowing that our local restaurants and, you know, cafes and all of that who are offering takeaway now are really struggling, and that's 30% that they need in their pocket. You know, that doesn't need to be going to someone else.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then you did, and the next thing you did that I saw, and there's probably things that I've missed, was the teddy bear hunt map.
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot to put that online. I can probably show you on my phone. So I mean, this definitely isn't my idea. I think I first saw it trend over in the UK. I think it's quite a it's been around for a while, but obviously it's come up again because of the situation. But I read a post in the UK of them starting this teddy bear hunt, and of course someone in Inglewood had started doing it, and then the word started spreading, and I'm in a couple of Inglewood groups, and it was kind of popping up here and there and everywhere. And I'm also in the Mount Lawley group, and they had started as well, and it just kind of just blew up. And it's actually fantastic. It's just an initiative of putting out a teddy bear or a toy in your window, and as kids walk past, they can just have a look. There's also rainbows and all sorts of other things that's actually, you know, being put out as well. And again, just sitting in the group and sort of having a listen to what people are saying and getting on board. You know, there was obviously a need for someone was requesting, is there a way to just find out where they all are? So I'll just try, and this isn't a screen share, I'm going to show you on my phone, and hopefully you can still sort of
it's the cutest thing, because we've got a toy at the front. The only thing is I have to shut the front door or the dog goes mad with everybody. But it's gorgeous, and you see people stop, and, you know, the kids are looking through the gate.
Yeah, that's it. And because I'm a rear house, I can't actually put anything out. So I'm thinking of colouring some bricks in to be rainbows. But so it was quite it's a very easy concept, and I've actually had quite a lot of people ask me how to do it. And I've been doing, when I say doing, putting things on a map and sharing it, I go on holidays often, and the last time I did this quite rigorously was when I went to Japan last year, and I created a digital map of all the good ramen places that I wanted to check out. And we had, you know, some friends and everyone that now sort of goes to Japan, I just share this with them, and they can go through and have a look. And so I just put this call out saying, look, if you've got your if you've got your bear out, just send me a message and I'll just add it to my list. And so I've just got my phone up. So I don't know how well you can actually see that. But I've just put in our, I've just put in our 100th bear. So I think I'm going to stop at that. But yeah, so it's super easy. I mean, I can just show you quickly if anyone's sort of wanting to do it themselves. On your Google Maps, there's a button at the bottom that says saved. As soon as you hit saved, you create your new map. And then it's just a matter of naming the map, and then you add your addresses, and away you go. So it's actually super, super simple. It's like a 3-step process.
Wow.
And so I've shared this with the town teams, which are you know, sort of like an international movement of teams that get together to sort of promote, you know, activating their suburbs and things like that. So yeah, so we don't need to stop there. We can, you know, someone suggested maybe I should put the restaurants and cafes on a map, but I kind of thought they're already on the map already, so yeah, I don't need to do more. But yes, I've had a lot of people give me some feedback with the map, saying how much they, you know, it helped them and they enjoyed walking around. And on the maps as well, I try and put like a little emoji of if it's a bear or a little zebra or whatever it is, and or a rainbow. And so yeah, so to me it was, aside from just getting a message, when I first put it out on the weekend, I probably was getting messages every 10 minutes, which is fine, you know, and it just takes me a quick second to add it on. So, you know, it's quite a minimal amount of effort to do something that looks like it's quite a big thing, but it's actually not at all. So yeah, so that was fun.
And is there anything new that you're working on for the community at the moment? I mean, that's a lot, what you've done today.
New, well, aside from just still working on the Inglewood Takeout Facebook page, there's this new concept, and again, I'm not taking credit for it, but I think in our Inglewood Buy Nothing group, which is obviously the movement where you know, share things for free, someone was suggesting to do what they're calling birthday drive-bys. Where
I saw.
So this is for kids, or not even kids, but I mean, I think it started around the concept of kids having to miss their birthdays because of isolation. And so parents were sort of just putting the call out to say, look, if, you know, my kid's birthday is on this day, if you're around, you know, it'd be great if you just drive past and give a bit of a honk. I actually had a friend of mine over the weekend who his dad turned 70, and of course the family couldn't head out there, and so he had put a message up on Facebook, and a few of my friends which were in his area up in Craigie, coincidentally were just off the street, so they all got their kids in the car and they drove past honking. And I think the concept is it's just a really, really simple concept that, you know, obviously has such a huge impact. And I think the first drive-by that happened yesterday, the birthday drive-by was from a woman in Inglewood, and she's just posted today this really, really heartfelt message of, you know, I don't know if you've seen it, but, you know, her son, I think, had turned 3, and, you know, she had to cancel his birthday plans, and she wasn't expecting the amount of people, but everyone walking past, you know, the cars were, you know, dressed up, and, you know, people hanging out their doors singing happy birthday. And I think she had a birthday gram, you know, someone coming by with balloons. And so so one of the mums in the neighborhood had set up, and this was just yesterday actually, so I think I can share this one as well. So we're looking for some, you know, it's open to anyone. Let me just flick this one across. So here we go. So this is the Inglewood Drive-by birthday parades. And so I am, I've just been made a moderator on that page just to help her out. She's quite a busy mum, but yeah, she definitely has just set this up. And we're sort of just tweaking how it all works now at the moment. But there's a second drive-by that's on today, this afternoon. And so I'm going to head out shortly to decorate my car. And I've got 2 little dogs as well, and so they love hanging out the window. So we'll, so we'll get our cars ready to go. But yeah, so if you're in the neighbourhood, and so this will go for as long as, you know, we need it to go. And it's, you know, everyone's welcome to do it, and just, you know, post a time and their address, and anyone who's around that day can just jump in their cars and do a bit of a drive-by birthday. So I think that's another little sort of fun sort of you know, project to be working on at the moment to time me over.
Oh, beautiful. So I mean, obviously COVID's changed the way that we communicate as individuals already. I mean, I did my first kind of and, you know, sometimes you think, why didn't we do this before? I did my first kind of virtual catch up with some girlfriends on Friday. One of those is, you know, one's in Mandurah, another one is in Melbourne. And I'm thinking we could have been doing this all the time as a way of connecting, but it really took kind of COVID for that to happen. And we had such a great time. We're going to have a champagne one on Friday, you know.
I've got one of those locked down as well.
And you know, just in terms of my business and how we do things, obviously, you know, video has just really taken off now. We're doing so much sort of by video, and we'll be doing virtual appointments and all of those kind of things. Um, and it's changing the way that we're, you know, we're kind of communicating as a community and connecting as well. Of all the changes that you're seeing, not just in the community space, but in the digital world, that being your kind of area, what do you think or hope are the best of those that are probably likely to stay once we're at the other side of this?
I think certainly businesses will hopefully, you know, re-look at how I guess how they are communicating. I think one of the bigger things is, you know, and as I mentioned earlier, my team have actually been I'm not sure if I did mention, but my team have actually been digital for 2 years. So, you know, we always work virtually. So I think really just having a look at how you can adapt your business to help you know, the work-life balance of staff at home. I always sort of say to even my colleagues at work and things like that, if you're given the opportunity to be able to work from home when you can, for me, it's actually quite, I know a lot of people sort of will struggle with that, saying, oh no, I just couldn't work from home, I'll get distracted. I mean, now everyone has to, so, but really, you know, I work much more efficiently at home. I get a lot more work done. A lot of my staff, the reason why we're virtual is that a lot of my staff, you know, they live about an hour away. So Telethon Kids is actually at the Perth Children's Hospital in Nedlands. So sometimes their commute is about an hour and a half just to get to work. And so being able to sort of cut that time, if you think about how much time you saved in a whole week of not traveling, you know, 3 hours a day, you know, productivity is actually through the roof. We work much better that way. You know, a lot of parents are having to leave work anyway to pick up their kids. You know, that's a big distraction itself. So I think really just really looking at how businesses are run and how you can adapt and promote, you know, that healthy work-life balance, you know, especially the families who have children and things like that. I think maybe just in the space of restaurants and cafes, you know, obviously because I'm, you know, working on those Facebook pages, I think they will obviously see how they could again adapt. You know, a lot of them have had to adapt very quickly to now supporting deliveries. So really just sort of understanding how, you know, that helps those that are less fortunate, that can't leave the house for whatever reason. So yeah, I think really just looking at those sort of things as opportunities. On how, you know, everyone's sort of working together to help each other out.
Yeah, it's funny because in some ways, like people aren't, while we're less physically connected, in some ways we're making more of an effort to connect more actively, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And when this is all past and we get back to some sense of normalcy again, what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, so many things. I think I obviously being able to just visit family and friends, and I'm a hugger kind of person, so I actually really miss that sort of, you know, that touch with people. So just being able to go out and see friends and give them hugs. My partner, we go to the movies almost like fortnightly, so I really miss being able to go to the movies. I mean, it's not quite the same, you know, at home on your couch. And of course, just being able to eat out, just going, you know, one of the things that we love doing, I think as part of our escape, and, you know, why I mentioned that we used to go out a lot is to, you know, come home and be able to go out and have date nights and things like that, and catch up with friends. And so yeah, really just being able to, you know, connect to, you know, to the people that we haven't been is what I'm really looking forward to most.
Yeah, and fingers crossed back to the night market.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, the next season sort of starts generally around August, September, October, depending on how we go. So yeah, that would be something to look forward to, I think.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and just, you know, like, thank you so much for everything that you do for Inglewood and the surrounding suburbs. It's wonderful, and it's really appreciated. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for that. That's very lovely. Yeah, as I said, I'm doing what I can. It's quite minimal what I feel I'm doing, but, you know, I'm happy to help wherever I can. If anyone wanted to reach out to me for any questions about, you know, any of those sort of initiatives or activities I've done, I'm more than happy to answer questions or help out as well. So yeah. So thank you.
And they can do that just via the Inglewood, like if they're members of the Inglewood Community Facebook page, Buy Nothing page, just message you direct through those.
Absolutely. And any of those Facebook pages that you've seen, the night markets, Inglewood
Yeah.
Night Markets page I run as well, Inglewood Takeout I run as well.
Yeah.
More than happy. And if anyone contacts you directly, more than happy for you to share my details.
Great. Thanks, Beck. Cheers.
Thanks so much, Nat.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.